during the morning swim and feminine. Now, personally, I have no allegiance to either group. I am not a feminist, nor will I ever be a feminist, because I am not feminine. I am a man. And there's nothing feminine about me. So let's just get that straight. If you want to say I'm an egalitarian, where I believe that everybody deserves equal rights under the law, fair enough. I'm one of them. I'm also, believe that, people are endowed with rights from God that the government cannot take away, like our freedom of speech. That goes for you big tech companies like YouTube and everybody else. Our opinions are not fake news. They're just our opinions. You want to make a public square platform, let people speak their mind. The assholes will be rooted out organically. People will just not watch them. But my whole thing is, Mgtow, this is not a new concept. And you can look at my video from early, the morning swim for today, the 18th. This is not a new concept. In fact, I was Mgtow in my teens. I didn't want to have nothing to do. I didn't want to have nothing to do with it. Because I watched how they behaved. And it actually, I'll be honest, it disgusts me to no end. I mean, even women, even these fat, ugly women, thought that they were like the best fucking thing put on God's green earth. And they were hideous. Now, I'm not saying like I'm the fucking best looking dude in the whole world, okay? Because I'm not. But at the same time, I wasn't a fucking douchebag treating people like shit all the time. In fact, high school sucked. I'll be honest with you. I didn't like high school. People look back on high school and go, oh, I remember high school was great. What the fuck was so great about it? I didn't like high school. I didn't like fucking school, period. I didn't like when I had to go. Bunch of fucking know-nothings teaching you nothing. Nothing that I've ever, how much shit from high school did we actually use in real life? I didn't use hardly any of it. Maybe 1%. Because they just fill your head with a bunch of nonsense. Like they tried to do in college, and I wasn't having it. Of course, then again, by the time I went to college, I was mature enough to know who the fuck I was. I didn't have to find myself or nothing like that. I knew who I was when I was 5. And I haven't changed since then. But for the Mgtows out there, good for you. Don't get with nobody, if you can't trust them. Trust is important. People say that, guys aren't trustworthy. That's bullshit. I trust a lot of dudes. You just gotta know who to trust. It's hard earned with me. I'm one of them people. It's like, if you break my trust, that's it. There is no second chance with that. And all the people that are still my friends, they know that shit. Don't ever betray my trust, because that'll be the end of the line for you. That'll be when I just click and close the book on that chapter in my life. And I totally get why men are doing it, because it's true, man. I don't find fault with anything that they got to say. Now, are there bitter men in the Mgtow movement who got, fucked over by the courts and, some fucking, piece of shit slut that was fucking around on them? She got rewarded for being a whore, sure, yeah, there's lots of guys like that. But can you blame them? Basically the courts rewarded a woman for being a whore. And told them that it's okay for them to cheat on men, but they're always telling men that if you cheat on a woman, that's not cool. So yeah, I get what they're saying. I get where they're coming from. I get the fact that it's a hypocritical double standard, just like everything else on the left. I totally get it. And feminists out there screaming and hollering and jumping up and down, you guys are the ones that caused all this shit. So here's my message to all the really nice, fine, beautiful young ladies out there. The reason you can't find a man, there's a few reasons you can't find a man. Either you're a bitch, you're a narcissist and a bitch, or you're a feminist. I mean, it's real easy. These dudes, there's good dudes out there that are looking for Miss Right. But you know what? They never come along. Because you guys have had your heads filled with so much nonsense that, look, dudes don't ask much. And that's what you guys seem to have forgotten. You guys make it way too complicated in life. Guys don't want much. Hell no. They want a nice lady they can spend time with. Some of them want a nice lady they can spend their life with. I got lucky with that. But, there's a lot of guys out there, they didn't get lucky. They got with a woman, they thought she was the one and everything, and then she's like fucking their best friend or some crap. And they ain't got no good excuse. It's not like the dude beat on them or, treated them like garbage or anything. It's, usually it's the complete opposite of that. The guy's really cool with them and everything. But they still go and screw around on him. See, the feminists in the United States put these filthy, disgusting ideas in all these girls' head. That sexual promiscuity. This is what I don't understand. We live in a rape culture, but then I hear about these slut walks. Really? You think you get away with that in a rape culture? Go have one of your slut walks overseas in one of those countries, You know the ones I'm talking about, right? Every one of you will be mauled to death. And if you weren't mauled to death, then after they had their way with you, then you'd be killed. But here people they celebrate this type of debauchery. And I think that's a lot of guys are really shut off by all that. They see these women running around and doing all this nasty ass shit. And they're just you know what, man? That's not for, the vast majority of dudes don't want a woman, especially if they're thinking about having kids with her. They want a woman that's been, passed around like fucking doobie, at a party. No guy want that used up shit, especially if they work hard. If they work hard and they make good money, they ain't gonna want, used garbage. And that's what a lot of these guys think. It's well, I'm not taking used shit. I forget who it was that made this. It might have been Tommy Sotomayor, which is, I like his stuff. I agree with him, pretty much on everything. I don't care who he makes fun of, either white people, black people. If you're fucking up, you're fucking up, But he likened a young woman to a Bentley, and she throws the keys to a dude without a credit check or any kind of background check or anything. He just drives that Bentley around, that $500,000 car, beats the shit out of it, and then hands the keys off to 10 other dudes. Then all of a sudden, this car's all fucked up and beat up and tore down and whatever else you want to call it. Then all of a sudden the woman wants credit checks and background checks and all kinds of shit. it doesn't work that way, man. You know, there's lots of nice girls out there. There's tons of them. Problem is, dudes, like, they look in the wrong place. And another thing is, they actively, you know, there's a lot of thirsty motherfuckers out there, man. Holy shit. They're looking in the wrong place. And a lot of times they shouldn't even be looking. Because I'm going to tell you, it's like, I've had a few serious relationships in my life, and you know what? Every one of them is, I was not actively looking to be with anybody. It just happened. But, so I gotta say, you know, like, these Mgtow people, you know, I get it. I totally get it. You know, you guys have been burned a few times. You don't like it. You know, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that shit is skewed in the favor of women in our society. It just is. For whatever reason. It's like the backlash. It's like all these people in Hollywood puke. Shit was happening. They knew it was happening. They were even part of it. And then it happens and they're like, oh my God, you know, this is horrible. We have to do something. You gotta do something. You guys knew this shit was going on for years. For probably as long as the movie industry has been around, it's been going on, you know? But now, you know, and then like all the false accusations, all dudes getting fired, you know, and all this other crap, you know, just on the word of some bubblehead that's vindictive. Then all of a sudden, it's like they're so shocked when they find out, well, guys in the workplace don't want to be around them. Big shocker. It's like, of course we don't want to be around you. I don't. I'll be like, you know, no, I'll leave the door open and bring somebody else in here. I don't do that shit either. I don't need nobody saying anything about me, and I don't want them to. And I don't want them to have any kind of, you know. The problem is, it's like, and you know, I get it, okay? They don't want people being raped. They don't want people. Who the fuck wants somebody being raped? Who the fuck wants somebody being sexually exploited? No normal human being wants people to be sexually exploited or used or raped, right? I mean, I get it. But it like became, it's at the point now where it's like a mass hysteria. Like everybody's like in this like mode where it's like any little thing, and they could lose their job, they could lose their, you know, their house, their car, everything. You know, just because somebody decided one day it'd be a funny joke or, you know, a good idea because, you know, mom and dad didn't give them enough attention at home, that they would accuse some dude of doing shit. And it's like, and then there's no real ramifications for women that make these false accusations, and there should be. I mean, obviously there should be very swift and aggressive and severe punishment for anybody making false accusations of that nature, because that's actually a very heinous thing to do to somebody. It's fucked up. Rape, sexual assault, whatever, sexual exploitation, whatever you want to call it, right? That's one of the most fucked up things somebody could do to somebody else. And if the person's guilty, I mean, yeah, granted, you know, they should go to fucking jail. But if you're just accusing them because you don't like them, or, you know, they just not your type, that's wrong, man. And these women should be going to prison in droves. They should have every asset they've ever had stripped from them. Their children taken away from them. Because normal people don't do that shit to somebody else. It's just the way it is. Don't do that to somebody. You don't like them, just say you don't like them. Guys can take a hint. But that's all I'm gonna say about that, man. It's like, move your fucking thumb a quarter inch down and hit the goddamn like button. Maybe if you're taking a shit and watching this, feel free to share. And subscribe. But I can honestly tell you, this shit ain't going away, folks. This Mgtow dudes are serious. They're growing. And I totally get it. And entitled women and feminism have, they can take the brunt of the blame for this type of mentality going around. All right, peace out.